Welcome to VMax Radio, episode number 5, recorded March 25th, 2017. Tonight, I'm joined by my two regular co-hosts, Sam and Chad, once again.
Good evening.
Tonight, we were supposed to have a special guest, or actually more than one special guest, but they could not make it this week. So maybe next week, maybe the week after, we don't know. It all depends on when they can record. So because of that, I did not really look to see if there was any news for us to talk about.
I'm on Jalopnik right now.
Yeah, so Chad has a news feed open. So
two guys in my uncle's, I wouldn't say hometown, but he currently lives in San Clemente. Two guys in city council meeting asked, city council if a statue of Paul Walker could be erected in his honor. If you were in the city councilman's situation, would you erect a statue of Paul Walker?
I have only one poster of Paul Walker, and it's sitting behind my Supra, conveniently enough.
I'm pretty sure this. If I were in the city councilman's shoes and I saw things from his perspective, I don't think you grant his request because number one, 9 times out of 10, I'm pretty sure the city councilmen, would be car guys and be into Paul Walker. And number two, if they did know about him, they'd be like, oh, well, we don't want that. He sets a bad example. He was a crooked cop / street racer. We don't want to erect a statue in his honor. Maybe of the founder of San Clemente. They might have a statue that reminds me, San Diego used to be like a church mission, and because of that, their baseball team is called the San Diego Padres after the monks.
I'm not into baseball, so I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
If you live in Los Angeles, you should know this.
I don't know a lot of things. I'm just not into baseball, not into politics, not into football, not into what else? I'm not into what most people are into.
What I said wasn't politics. That was history.
No, I mean, crap. I said I meant I'm not into what most people are into.
Oh, trust me, there are a lot of people that are into JDM cars.
Do I look like I'm into JDM cars?
Well, yes and no. I was recently at a car meet yesterday, and a lot of the cars there were JDM. It was in Pocatello, Idaho. It was really big. I stopped twice to meet people on the way. It was pretty crazy. I saw two early '60s Falcons, a couple Mark IV Supras, an R32 Skyline, three mini trucks that were stands to the ground, a 1978 Toyota Corolla wagon with the Rising Sun logo on the hood. I talked with that guy. Plus, a guy let me sit in this brand new Focus RS. It was blue. Then there's another Focus RS that was gray. Really like the looks of that. And then there was also a guy who had a 95 Ford pickup truck with a 460 big block. However, it has an 83 front end because it got into an accident, so he just repaired it that way. And he says it's a pavement princess. And there's a lot more I could say. Might talk about that later on as I remember stuff.
I haven't been to a 7-Eleven meet in a long time. You've been to since you've been to LA, you've been to the Santa Monica 7-Eleven, haven't you?
You're talking to me, right?
Of course I'm talking to you. Who else went to LA here?
What's so special about the Santa Monica 7-Eleven?
It has the most car meets. That and Kenneth Han's State Park.
Okay, all right, yeah. When I was down in Los Angeles, my sisters, they went off and went to Disneyland 3 times a day. And then me and my dad, we went to Universal Studios and went to Los Angeles County. Well, they stayed pretty much in Orange County.
Yeah.
Well, I was actually supposed to go to a car meet this morning at some
but your
cafe.
parents said no?
No. They didn't say no. They just said, "Oh, we'll go," but there's all these other things that we got to do first, and so we got there 3 hours.
Chores?
No. We went to the barber, then we went to the dump, and by that time, the barber takes a long time for us to get through. So
Yeah, I've been to that. Sometimes you have to wait. Well, did you really have to do that before the car meet, or what? Or like the dump and the barbershop, they were going to close before the car meet would end?
It was not necessary,
but they just prioritized that over going to a car meet. Okay, so you think we covered about that Paul Walker statue?
Well, I was going to say, if I was a city council person, it would, building it would attract more tourism to the area. And so that would get more businesses, more local businesses, business.
Yeah, that's true.
So that in turn returns back to the city council.
Well, and that's the thing, though. Like, I'm pretty sure that Paul Walker, he either grew up in Bakersfield, Barstow, or Baker, something along those lines. Like, I don't really remember him, really having influence of San Clemente as far as I can remember. Like his crash site is more, up by Santa Clarita. Fun story. I actually used to live in Santa Clarita, but I was really young then.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't think it will be built, but I mean, I would build it if I was a city council person.
How about you, Sam?
I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50 about it. Like, the guy's good and all, but people remember him as the street racer, the guy who broke the law, blah, blah, blah. Not as the guy.
Although the way he died, that could be seen as illegal.
Yeah, exactly. Though he wasn't the driver, but that was his car, and he hasn't changed the tires in over 10 years.
In other news, the driver takes out self-driving Uber in Arizona. Ian Wright actually created an article about this pretty recently. He got editor's pick.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah. Let's see. Police say a vehicle failed to yield to a self-driving Uber, and the two collided. And yeah, the driverless Uber car. It's a brand new Volvo XC90.
Oh yeah, it's the car that tipped over like, hey, I'm bored. Ding.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Ian Wright said, it's like one of his cats. I'm bored. Bling! Tips over.
I haven't been on Car Throttle much this week, so.
Also, the McLaren hypercar that could replace the McLaren F1.
Well,
so not only the spiritual successor, it's the actual successor.
It's the successor, not the replacement, because the F1's already long gone.
Yeah.
Well, it will replace like a McLaren's Halo car in its lineup, if you think about it.
Well, yeah, but the P1 was its Halo after the F1. And so this is another Halo car.
Wait. Wasn't the MP4 a Halo?
MP4 12C? No.
I don't think so.
No.
Not in my eyes, at least.
Wait. One question. Is it MP4 12C or MP4-12C?
It's MP4-12C, but yeah, I mean, who wants to say MP4-12C?
I say it all the time.
But fun fact, guess what the C in that stands for?
Coupe.
Copy machine.
It stands for car.
Okay, then.
They were very original in their naming.
Well, there is
strategy.
There is another 12C, which is the Formula One car. So I think it makes sense, kinda.
Speaking of weird naming, Ferrari's naming department must be on marijuana, because they recently named their top hypercar the Ferrari, and then they have a new car coming out. I think it's the 812 Super Fast. Like, seriously?
The Super Fast.
812 Super Fast sounds like something my brother would name his tank.
Oh.
Super Fast? Seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
They've just run out of, either they hired Americans for they've run out of bright ideas.
Also, during that podcast, they thought of what they thought to be a great name for one of their models, the Sicilian.
Sicilia. What was that?
the Sicilian, and I'm on board with that. They're on board with that. They think that would be a good name for, say, like a California type, entry level car.
Yeah, that's because it's like it's a city name. Well, okay, not really a city name. It's based off of a city name.
Well, yeah, like Sicily, that's like the soccer ball to the boot of Italy.
Yeah, that's the island. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure where I was going with that.
Speaking of Italian islands, my mom and dad went to Sardinia, which is actually closer to France than to Italy, for a business trip.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Yeah, and then my sister was able to go to Paris with my mom and see French stuff.
My dad would be going to Monaco in a few days because business.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of rich people do business down there.
Yeah, but I've been to Monaco once. It's nice place, though a lot of rich people, which I couldn't really connect with.
You can't or can?
Can't. They're a bit too uptight for my taste.
Well, my uncle, who I was talking about, I'll have to admit, he's a pretty well-off guy, and he's laid back, like California laid back.
Oh, nice.
It's really about who you know. Like maybe they're old money. Like my grandpa's new money. Like, because when he was in high school, he drove around in a station wagon that didn't have a reverse gear. Yeah, so when they parked, they would park in a spot they could pull out of by going forward, not backward. That way they didn't have to push it out.
Oh, man.
So wait. What do you mean by old money and new money?
Like inherited money, like Rockefeller. That's old money. Like the Rockefeller family, mooching off the inheritance and old success out of John D. Rockefeller. Like Mark Zuckerberg is new money. Like he created his own money. Like they talk about that in The Great Gatsby. Like
Tesla and stuff.
Yeah, that's as far as I know of, Elon Musk wasn't really wealthy before.
Actually, fun fact: he lived on $1 a day.
Wow.
$1 per day. Jeez.
Wow.
Talk about holy crap. Talk about getting off barely.
Then he started. What did he do first? He did PayPal, didn't he?
I think so.
I think he's the guy who made PayPal. Then he got rich and made Tesla to spend money. Because Tesla's actually, I think it's just starting to actually earn money.
Yeah, Chad, I can see you typing into the other chat.
Yep. Anyway, should we jump into the Ask Me Anything?
Yeah, okay. Oh, wait. We had one more thing. Sam wanted to talk about heavily modified factory cars or
heavily modified do-it-yourself cars.
Yeah. So basically built versus bought.
Well, bought comes with factory warranty.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So do you want a factory warranty, or do you want something that you... Okay, so basically, if you build something yourself, you have a lot more satisfaction with it than if you just buy it.
Well, in an argument for bought, you could argue that you could get that same feeling by working and saving for years, being able to afford a certain car.
Yeah, that too.
Well, yeah, there is a point there. But sometimes I look at my Supra and I just wish, why didn't this thing come with its warranty?
Because you bought it used, more than likely.
It was for junk, not used.
Yeah, I bought it off a junk heap.
That reminds me, you guys know Chad Fishbeck on Car Throttle?
Chad Fishbeck.
Yeah, well, he created a meme recently where he was talking about how people some people actually believe that, you know, a lot of 90s JDM cars people fanboy over were affordable back in the day, when in reality they weren't. Like, I think like a Mitsubishi 3000 GT brand new sold in the US would run you 60 grand. Adjusted for inflation, at least. That's what it'd be in today's money.
Yeah, back in their times, these cars weren't affordable. Weren't affordable at all.
Yeah, like a brand new Camaro SS. Not only would it be cheaper than a Supra, I think it would actually also give it a good run for its money as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But I had a thought and I lost it.
That's all right. Just say when and you can expound on it. Let's jump into the questions, shall we?
Oh, I remember.
Okay.
But it's basically all I was gonna say was the FD RX-7 was like 80 grand.
And like for the car that it is, sure, like back at its time, it must have been legendary. But
yeah,
now that I think about it, that sounds a little overpriced in my book.
A little? You mean a lot?
Quite a bit.
For a car that's two-rotor and you have to maintain it a bit more than other cars for it to be reliable, yeah, 80 grand is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of have to do the same thing with the new Alfa Romeo if you think about it.
Not exactly the same, dude. I mean, you don't have to change the apex seals every once in a while in an Alfa Romeo, now do you?
No. You might have to replace other things, but like the new ones, we don't really know if they're reliable or not yet because, you know, they're brand new.
I'm hearing good things about the Giulia.
Yeah, everyone loves it because it's a brand new chassis. You know, the people who own Ferrari, and it's basically a Ferrari engine. So
yeah, and it's a California engine with 2 cylinders lopped off.
Yep.
Now that I think about it, you think it would also follow suit that the new Dodge Challenger would be made on the Giulia's platform.
Okay, so I think so. Have you heard the rumors about they're gonna axe the Dodge Challenger and bring the Barracuda back?
I've heard of that.
So
that would be really good.
What they're talking about is, since the Challenger has a stereotype of being big and heavy and all that, they're going to completely axe that when they go to a new chassis and basically call the new one the Barracuda. With stereotypes. And it
this is going to be the Dodge Barracuda, the Plymouth Barracuda. Little history lesson. The Dodge Challenger back in the day was the more upscale of the two, while the like you wouldn't really see like a Dodge Challenger with a bright green paint job and, you know, Hemi logos on the side, but you would see that the Barracuda. So the Barracuda was the sportier of the two. It was more directly competing with the Mustang than the Dodge Challenger was. The Dodge Challenger is more meant to compete with the Mercury Cougar.
Yeah.
But I mean, the only thing the Dodge Charger can go against is the AMG Brabus cars.
Why is that?
Because the AMG Brabus cars are the only ones that can stand to the Dodge Charger.
Oh, like in a straight line?
Yeah.
Well, the BMW M5 is pretty quick on its feet.
But doesn't have 707 horsepower. Or 697 if you want to get technical.
Well, yeah. Also, like the M5, you know, you know, it'd handle better in the corners and whatnot. Not to mention, it's a lot more upscale.
Yeah, but the Charger is a lot more affordable. So
also,
yeah, the AMG Brabus cars are like hilariously expensive. I mean, my dad had the crazy idea of, before getting the S65, he wanted to get a Brabus. That would have set him back, I think, 150 grand, 200, I think.
I'm not surprised. European cars like the options on there can get crazy. Like, I think this might be true that you can double the price of like a 911 or a Boxster by just tacking on options.
No, but the Brabus isn't a minor option though. Like making your car a Brabus is like turning, I don't know, making a turning a plane into a bomber.
I do see your point, but my point still stands that like Europeans love to option out their cars and do it expensively.
Oh yeah. That's the thing, and like putting a crap ton of buttons while doing so.
It doesn't have enough buttons already.
Yeah.
You know the Humble Mechanic and Eric the Car Guy?
Yeah.
They were once in a car once, and they were talking about German cars versus Japanese cars and how they've worked on both, and that German cars are more complicated and Japanese cars are less complicated. And Eric the Car Guy, he was working on Japanese cars for a while, and because of that, when he started working on German cars, he's like, "Wow, this is pretty complex."
Yeah, especially Mercedes. Mercedes have a history, are infamous between its owners for being more complex. Even those who have BMW and Mercedes both, they tell you that Mercedes is way more complex than BMW, but way more reliable.
I've never heard of a Mercedes being reliable.
Have you not seen the old 240s, like a 79 Mercedes 240?
The 240 being the exception. Yeah, I do remember that. I actually just saw.
But, I was saying that compared to BMW, it's more reliable compared to BMW.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Mercedes are reliable in general because they're not reliable.
When compared to BMW, they're more reliable.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, as
they
the
don't
saying
need
goes,
as much repairs.
As the saying goes, there is nothing more expensive than a cheap Mercedes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Scotty Kilmer can attest to that.
Yeah.
Not to mention like cheap Phaetons, like Everyday Driver podcast, Matt and Scott, they talk about how that might be a potential money pit. Anyway, should we get into the questions?
Yeah.
Nathaniel Lucky.
Nathaniel Lucky.
What's your favorite car that's been owned by Mighty Car Mods Luke?
His Mini. The supercharged Mini, definitely for me.
Super Gramps.
What? What did you say, Chad?
Does he own it?
He yeah, that was his, not the new JDM Mighty Car Mods Mini. He had an old supercharged Mini.
Yeah, I think I might have to go with you there, or the Mod Max Sylvia.
Mm-hmm.
I also like Tay the Drift 240 SX in a way. So we answer that question?
I guess. We're going to get through questions fast tonight. There are not a lot of... Anyway, so Adam Kareem asks, are there any cars you have a soft spot for but never talk about them? So anyone want to go first?
I think for me, that might actually be the Carmen Ghia.
Ooh. I love that car.
I saw one at the Pocatello car meet I was at yesterday. I think. Oh well, yeah. I also saw that maybe like one or two other Volkswagen Beetles that were air cooled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually saw a Carmen Ghia today. Actually, it was one I'd already taken. It was the same one I took a picture of a while ago and posted on Car Throttle, so I didn't repost it.
How about you, Study? You got any that you could talk about?
Yeah, definitely. I was actually just thinking about this the other day. Old 80s VWs. Like Rabbit, the Mark II.
That may
Rabbit.
or may not be influenced because you have one rotting away in your backyard.
Yeah. But it is influenced, but I don't really talk about those all that much, and I love them. Ugh.
How about you, Sam?
Yeah. I don't have any cars really.
Okay, well, we'll leave you open on that, and if you think of one while we're answering the other questions, chime in.
Anyway, she asks, What is your favorite Camaro? And
That's
we all
a
know
really tough question.
Oh God, this gets me torn. This gets me
Okay,
torn.
I think I might be able to answer that actually. I'll go with for classic. I'll go with the '69 Camaro RS. Now, the
Sure.
Camaro RS is the model with the hidden headlights, right?
Yeah,
I think so, yeah.
I like the RS with the SS package.
All right, and then for modern, I'll go with the brand new Camaro SS.
Yes. So I'm also going to break it up into two different, like classic and modern. My favorite classic is the 1969 Camaro ZL1. And
Nice.
my favorite modern one is the 5th Gen Z28.
I like the '69 RS SS package and the 6th Gen ZL1.
Nice. I know a guy who okay, I haven't met him. He's a car throttle. But he co-owns with his dad a 1972 Camaro RS that they've restored, and they actually own a GM dealership, and so they have all the they have like the body work shops, they have everything, and they completely restored it, and it looks amazing. I'll try to find a picture of it.
While you're doing that, Mark II Golfer also asks, favorite cosmetical mod for golfs?
Probably, okay, I'm gonna look up some pictures of the golf mod that I'm thinking of, and you guys can answer it.
There was like a Mark I or II Golf like a year ago in my hometown. That was a car show, and it had lights that change colors. I've seen that a lot of car meets with other different cars. I've seen it on like a 3rd Gen Firebird and also like a 1999 Prelude. It was dark. I couldn't really exactly tell what the Honda was. I posted a video of it on Car Throttle.
So my favorite cosmetic mod is also a very functional one.
Roof racks?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure Mark would be along with you on that. For some reason, he likes to like roof racks.
Does he have one on Wallace?
I think he does, although I don't think like he's really used it. Like I don't think he has like a bike rack and like takes bikes up to like Mount Hood or whatever, mountain bikes. I mean, but hey, Mark, if you're listening to this, feel free to fill us in if you do with that.
Yeah.
What about you, Sam?
Cosmetic mods for the Golf? I don't know.
Yeah. You don't know? All right, we'll come back to you on that. Favorite USA truck?
Ooh.
You go first.
Drops.
All right. Classic 1975 Ford F100. Modern 2016 GMC Sierra.
For me, it has to be the Ford F100, like Chad. And
well, what year?
1970.
All right.
I am torn.
And for new, it's the Ford Raptor.
The first gen or second gen?
I don't know. I'm torn between this first gen and second gen because the first gen has the V8, so it has that cool factor and the monster sound. But the second gen is lighter and is better off road. So and can jump higher.
Okay, how is it better off road?
What?
How is it better?
Well,
off-road?
it's all the lessons that Ford learned from the last Raptor and their Baja 1000 trophy trucks, they have put into the new Raptor. So it's better technology-wise than the last one.
I definitely prefer the first gen. Like when I was in Detroit for the auto show, I actually saw the guts. Well, yeah, like I toured like the Ford truck assembly plant in Dearborn. That was pretty cool. And at the end of the tour, I got to see like the innards of a Ford Raptor. But I think I also might have seen one on the assembly floor. Although when I was there, they weren't really assembling anything because I think I did the tour on President's Day.
Actually, I was driven around in a Ford Raptor before. Driven around. I didn't drive it myself, and sadly, it was on tarmac. But I got one thing about the Ford Raptor. The steering wheel looks like crap.
So I'm torn between these Chevy C10 and the new Raptor. So for classic 1970 C10, modern new Raptor.
Well, that's the thing. Like the square bodies and the early 70s C10, there's a difference in between the two.
The what?
But like for Chevy, like the 70s wasn't all just one generation. It split into two generations.
Yeah.
One generation was
early
in the early 70s, and then they moved on to a next generation, like around 1974.
Yeah, 1972 is my favorite.
All right.
Okay.
Can you make a knife out of a washing machine?
What?
Most definitely. And I will try it someday.
Can I make a what?
A knife out of a washing machine.
A knife out of a washing machine. Well, good job, but yeah, sure.
I will try it someday because I've made knives out of all kinds of stuff. Okay, not really knives, but like edged weapons. Like I made a throwing star out of a Christmas gift tag that was metal. It was in the shape of an angel, and I sharpened the edges and made it into a throwing star.
You would be really.
Then I took a piece of
really well in prison. Yeah, you'd totally be the weapons specialist there. Yeah,
Then
like, pulled over for street racing. Then you like spend 3 years there, like make a bunch of knives. It'd be really ironic if you got stabbed with your own weapon.
So, other than that, I've made a spike out of a piece of steel rebar, and then I made a throwing knife out of a random piece of steel I found in the garage. Yeah, I
gave
tried.
up some time ago on making a hidden blade.
What?
I gave up some time ago on I'm making a hidden blade.
Yeah.
I was making it out of shoe soles and some springs and a broken kitchen knife.
My friend actually made a ballistic knife, which it's technically not a ballistic knife, but it does the same thing. So what a ballistic knife does is you have your blade, and then you have an explosive charge in the handle. When you push a button, the blade shoots out of the knife.
So I know those. Yeah.
They are extremely illegal in most states, not in Virginia, by the way.
Oh, you know
so
what?
he made.
Did I interrupt you?
Yeah, hold on, just a minute. So he made one, but it wasn't with an explosive charge. He made it with a spring. So it's technically not a ballistic knife, but it does the same thing. Anyway, what were you going to say, Chad?
I saw a Dodge Ram SRT10 at the car show I was at.
Oh, lucky. Very lucky.
Yeah, and I looked in the engine bay, and right on the valve cover it says Viper. Yeah, like the valve cover itself is like a dark red, and then it says like Viper in silver.
Yeah, I know it. I know it very well.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
also saw a New Edge Mustang, and I'm pretty sure it has a Coyote swap because I saw a Boss 302 intake sticking out of the hood.
Oh, nice.
Also,
speaking.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Speaking of Mustangs, I have kind of a question that we can talk about. Like, not really a question, but give me a minute here. Got to get on Craigslist, find it.
All right. While you're doing that, Elo Blazers asks, "Have you been in Stuttgart? If no, do you want to go sometime?"
Sure, of course, because they have Mercedes and Porsche based there. So yeah.
Who doesn't want to go to Stuttgart?
Backwoods rednecks that care more about Ford versus Chevy.
I want to go to Stuttgart. Mainly, I want to go to Germany itself, mainly because of the schnitzel.
Explain to all the less enlightened individuals what schnitzel is.
Well, it's basically a German piece of meat. It's meat with some weird ass recipe. It just tastes good. All right, it's just meat that tastes really good.
Are there any German towns nearby where you live?
No, I don't think so.
Well, yeah, you know how New York, well, like San Francisco, New York, there's Chinatowns. There's kind of a German town in my state called Leavenworth. It's in the Cascade Mountains. They got all these quaint shops and whatnot. It's pretty nice. I think it was Sausage House or something along those lines where I got to eat some good sausage.
So I can't find what I was looking for on Craigslist, but I found it while I was Chad. He asked people like, "What should I buy?" And so I went on Craigslist and was looking for stuff, and that got me interested in Craigslist. So I was browsing through, and I found a 1966 Ford Mustang V8 for $1. And I looked at it. It's not trade or anything. He said it runs and drives, but it needs a ton of work done to it.
Is this in your area or mine?
In my area.
Okay.
And so the other thing is it's an automatic. So basically what I'm asking is, you'd be better off buying something like that for $1 and restoring it, and maybe if you want to manual swap it and like turn it into a project car than you are to buy a pre-restored 66 Mustang.
Like which would you rather do?
Which do you think would be cheaper and more fun? And yeah, basically, which would you rather do?
Well, if you think about it, restoring the Mustang yourself could be cheaper in the fact that, you can choose the cheap or the expensive part, or the cheap or expensive way of doing things, or choosing not to restore it at all, driving around with Bondo still on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but bear in mind that manual swapping it alone will cost you a fortune.
Define fortune.
A lot of money.
What's a lot of money to you in
Well,
this case?
I don't know. I heard that someone manual swapped their car before. I can't remember. Was it the 2005, 2004 Mustang? I don't know. Anyway, it was the generation before the SW1, whatever it's called.
SM197, I believe.
Oh yeah, that. Anyway, yeah, the manual swapped it, and it cost them, I think, what, $5,000, something like that.
That's the thing, though. With the new car, you have a lot of computers to worry about. However, with old cars, you don't have to worry about any of that. It's more plug and play.
Mechanical stuff, yeah.
And you can just buy a 66 Mustang transmission and swap it in relatively easy. And even if you can't, and it costs thousands of dollars, keep in mind that this is a $1 car that we're talking about versus a $14,000 car.
Yeah. Also, one other thing too, I'm pretty sure one popular thing to do is to put a Fox body transmission or old drivetrain into the 60s Mustangs, so you can look on forums there, scrounge junkyards, and then source parts from there.
Mm-hmm. So
it all really depends on how you do it.
Talking about Craigslist and how Chad got me interested in that, I am obsessed now with looking for what would make a good project car on Craigslist.
Well, you already have one in your backyard.
I do, but so I was talking to my dad the other day, and we gotta look at the chassis, because if it's been sitting out there, rain, shine, snow, it's been covered completely with snow at one point. We gotta look at the chassis to see if it's completely rusted out and if it's actually fixable.
Yeah.
Because if it's completely eaten up, then there is no hope at all.
One thing too, do you know if it's frame on body or half and half car or completely unibody?
I don't know. I can look it up.
No problem with frame on body cars. When the chassis is done for, it's done for. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of, looking at the car and seeing if it's, worth trying to dig into or not.
I mean, when I see parts of my Suburban's chassis like even a bit rusted, I freak out.
Yep. Mark II is a unibody. So, yeah. If it's rusted, I'm sunk. So that's kind of why I'm looking at stuff, because I don't have much hope that it's not going to be rusty, because it's been sitting there since 2002, and we've had snow and rain and.
Now I'm starting to
I don't have
understand
much
why
hope.
you're hesitant about starting to work on the project car.
Oh yeah, it's like
Yeah, I mean,
14 years.
if it was something like, I mean, it can already kind of drive. It just needs basic mechanical work done to it. I would totally do that. I want something like that, be able to like learn how to do stuff. But this is totally different. Started since 2002.
Why though?
Well, my dad told me the other day while I was talking to him, and I asked him a question, because we had a Ford Contour that was more comfortable and it had air conditioning and all that that he could drive to work. And my mom would just throw us in the back of our truck, not the bed, the back seats, to go wherever. And so he just parked it, and he didn't really have time to drive it on weekends or anything like that, which makes me really sad.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people on Carthor are going to be when they find out about that, especially Mark II golfer. I'm pretty sure I can already see it now.
Yeah.
All caps, exclamation points, talking about how why would you abandon a car like that?
Yeah. Jen's the GTI freak too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Evo Blazers asks, twin or single turbo?
Twin.
Twin.
Single
Because-
easier to work on.
Less lag.
Well, twin has less lag.
Way less.
Yeah. They are easier to work on though. A single turbo.
And also, from my experience with single turbo, you tend to lose control with a single turbo.
How's that?
It's the power isn't consistent. So, for example, when you're mid drift or mid turn and the power just kicks in all of a sudden, you just go. You go. You're done.
That is why the original 911 Turbo was known as a widowmaker, because like if boost came on and you were not ready for it, because it's like not doing anything at all, and then boom, turbo kicks in, your tires start spinning, you're off the road.
Well, and if you think about it, that might actually be a bit of a generalization, because like modern single turbo cars like a GTI, I'm pretty sure would be like that, or like a Subaru WRX.
But it all depends on turbo size, because the bigger the turbo, the longer it takes to spool up.
Well, it also depends on the application putting in. For example, if you put like a really big turbo into a car with a small engine, of course it's going to take long to spool. But if you put the same turbo into a car with a much bigger engine, it's going to spool faster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, twin turbo, it's not always lag free. I mean, no turbo is lag free. No turbo is
unless it's like a hybrid system where you have an electronic
but
motor spinning.
But still, you still have turbo lag. The turbo is still lagging. You just don't feel any lag to the engine response. Anyway, yeah, just a big technical.
All right. Yeah. Things are being applied to the wound. Just let's continue. And
Okay.
forget this little accident.
Okay, so that STI guy asks F10 M5, which is the last generation one, or E39 M5.
I don't know.
I'd go E39.
F10 are good though.
But E39 is lighter. It's a naturally aspirated engine, and like I've read reviews of it, and people say that is the best BMW that's ever been built.
Wait, people say the E92 M3 is the best BMW ever built.
The E39 M5.
No, a lot of people say the E92.
Oh, well, okay, but a lot. Okay, fair enough. But other people don't. So anyway.
Yeah, it's not a fact. So yeah, a lot of people have different. So yeah,
the best of anything ever built is always subjective.
Yeah, I don't know.
It also can't be objective, like with performance numbers and whatnot.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the best.
Yeah, best among car enthusiasts and whatnot.
Yeah.
But best for the marketing department is definitely numbers based.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's based on papers. No one ever cares for real life performance.
Yeah.
People do, but not that many. Personally, I would have to say I would go with the E39 M5 because once I think about it, I can't really think of many V8, four-seater, four-door, rear-wheel drive sedans that are, good at least.
New Chevy SS.
Yeah, but like I could pick up like a 5 Series V8 BMW for cheaper if I wanted to go on a budget.
But it has been axed. The Chevy SS, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should have called it the Impala SS.
Mm.
Well.
No.
You have.
Well, here's my argument for it. The Impala is a very well-known name, where people of all kinds drive Impalas. Like Tim Allen, he has an old Impala SS, like in '96, I believe. There are people like that, and there are also retired grandmas and college kids that drive in Impalas, whether they're old or new.
Actually, one of my dream cars when I was little was the '95 Impala SS. I really loved that thing, and I still do. It looks good. It's well, it didn't come in manual, but it looks good. The engine is pretty good, though it's pretty weak. I mean, 250 horsepower out of 5.7 liter. Holy crap!
Yeah.
But the car itself and the rims, especially the rims, the most famous thing about that car is the rim.
Yeah. So I was thinking of.
So E39 M5. I'm going E39 M5.
But they shouldn't have called it the Impala, because the Impala at that time, and it still is, it's a front-wheel drive, big sedan.
Wait, at what time exactly?
Now, the current one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would understand your propensity towards that and the reasoning for that.
So
the Red Evo asks, if you clean the vacuum cleaner, then are you the vacuum cleaner?
yeah, so if you clean the vacuum cleaner, then are you the vacuum cleaner? Mark II Golfer says you are the cleaner of the vacuum cleaner. So
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
I clean vacuum cleaners all the time, so I should know.
I almost accepted a job to sell Kirby vacuums. Although, once I talked to my parents about that, because of like some shady ways that the employers got me to go to their initial meetings, they decided to opt out. Yeah. Or they persuaded me a lot to quit.
Who, the employees?
Well, they persuaded me to not accept the job.
Oh, okay.
Castriot Kalaba asks, will Darth Vader return to his throne?
Oh, Darth Viper. Darth Viper.
Actually. Oh, is that your old username?
That was, I've had that in parentheses after my username for a little bit. But yeah. So basically how that came up was I added that, and then I had a mill BRZ, Darth Vader standing in front of a black Viper, and then I had that as my banner.
I saw that.
It's a really cool picture. He did a great job on it, but yeah.
Yeah, he shortened my Subaru. Like he made my
Yeah,
Subaru
he
like a
minified
car.
it. He actually started a Instagram account for that stuff. Minified rides, I think.
I actually saw some cool cars that were not at the the car meet per se. Like I saw a Buick Grand National that was just happened to be sitting by the Wendy's. That was across the street from the car meet.
Oh, nice.
Gen X?
Oh, Gen X.
Yeah,
what
is
do you
it
mean by
a
that?
Gen X?
Oh,
Is it a Grand
GNX.
National Gen X or a Grand National?
Well, it had Grand National logos on it, and as far as I could tell, it looked pretty legit. It also had drag radials on the back of it.
Ooh.
Oh, I think that's the Gen X.
So I saw one of those a while ago, and funny story here. I looked at it and I was going like, oh, I was drooling over it. And I'm like, oh, I love that car. Look at that. I mean, my entire family goes like, are you kidding? That thing's an old piece of junk. Look at it. It's a box. It's ugly.
And what
You're
car does this guy drive?
It's what guy?
The guy who's criticizing the GNX?
You mean my parents?
Oh,
They
your
drive.
dad said that?
My dad said that. He said it was ugly. My mom said it was an old piece of junk.
Yeah, my parents tend to be along those lines as well. They just want something that's nice and reliable. Like even my grandparents on my mom's side, they still drive around in relatively old cars, but they do have a pretty nice boat and a nice house.
Oh, Chad, you just reminded me. My grandma my grandpa from my mom's side has an F100.
Oh, what year?
69 with what's it called? There's this carburetor modification. What's it called?
Is it a 4-barrel?
Yeah, 4-barrel.
Yeah, 4-barrel instead of 2-barrel. All right.
Yeah, it puts out. I don't know. He's a car guy, so he did a lot of mods to the engine, and it now puts 400 horsepower natural
Oh.
To the crank or to the wheels?
crank.
All right. I also saw a early '60s Nova sedan that was red in the Winco parking lot. That was not the parking lot for the car meet.
A
Nice.
Nova sedan. Never seen that before.
Yeah, there are actually a lot of old American cars that in sedan form, like Cutlasses. Those had a sedan form. Novas definitely had a sedan form.
Jeez, I've always known the Nova as the Nova SS, so I didn't know it had a sedan form.
I'm just gazing through the pictures I took last night. I also saw in the Winco parking lot that wasn't the car meet parking lot, like a 2014 Camaro SS with black stripes, an American flag on the roof of the car, and then the guy put Autobot logos at the center of the ribs.
Oh,
That
nice.
looks, I don't know. I wouldn't like that much.
I also saw a Ford Ranger that did not have the pickup bed, and in its place was a bottle of nitrous.
Oh my
Oh.
god,
Dude.
nice.
Yeah, like seriously though, you do not really see cars with nitrous. Yeah, that seems to be a rare modification.
Oh. Wow.
Let's see if there's anything else here that might be worth mentioning.
So-
One funny story. I was actually once tricked by a sleeper.
What was this car that was a sleeper?
I was once I was driving the Supra. So there's this Ford Taurus, like the wagon Ford Taurus from the 90s.
Oh,
It
dude.
must have been an SHO.
Anyway, that guy wanted to race. He didn't look
What car were
much.
you in?
Supra.
Okay.
So I set the Supra to 320 horsepower, which is the lowest setting. So I thought, have mercy on the guy. And then, oh my god, the moment I put on the throttle, he just, I was like, what just happened? He just, I don't know, I basically ate his dust.
Nice. I love sleepers.
I got tricked by a sleeper, although mine looks like a sleeper, kinda, but yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like car guys, they'll look at a Supra and they'll be like, "Huh." It's like a Mark IV Supra is definitely not a sleeper because everyone sees like videos of like 800 horsepower Supras on 1320 video.
Have you seen mine though?
Oh well, yeah, because it's like
stock.
relatively stock on the outside.
Yeah, basically, like if you don't spot the intercooler, you think it's stock.
Like this.
Yeah. Anyway, cool cars that I posted today that I spotted. Some of them I didn't see today, but anyway, so 6 Mustang GT, pre-fastback, which is my absolute favorite Mustang ever.
My friend
Actually,
is 65.
Actually, yeah. Actually, this is a 65 because I'm looking at the picture. The license plate says 65 STNG, so 65.
Well, I
Stang.
mean, that's just a license plate. Sure, that could be assigned, but it's not a guarantee that it's a 65.
Well, no, it's a
It looks like a vanity plate. It looks
it's
like
a vanity plate. 65 Stang. I mean,
I
so-
do see your point there, but like the only way to know for sure is to like put the 65 and 66 side by side, look at the comparisons, or look at the VIN number.
yeah. And so then Mark I Rabbit. I actually saw this one on Thursday because there's a Celtic and Old Time Jam that we go to every Thursday. One of the guys that goes, he has this old rabbit. And his nickname is Rabbit, so... Anyway. Then, Saab 900 Turbo Cabriolet. A couple Subaru WRX STIs. Then that old Ford Custom that I have no clue what it is.
Well, it looks a lot to me like an early 50s shoebox Ford.
Well, that could be what it's made to look like. But I don't think it's actually riding on one of those chassis.
My Supra might
Let me
actually
see.
be broken.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I've had this problem for a while to where like sometimes when I'm making really tight turning maneuvers in parking lots, like, cranking the wheel all the way to the left or the right, I'll get a bumping sound that intensifies if I either turn the wheel to the right or left more or go faster. Yeah, and I posted that on my local Facebook car group page, and a lot of people are saying it could be the CV axle, and I've looked for prices for CV axles, and they're around $100, so it's not too bad. Although if we were to take the Subaru to a shop to have it done, I'm pretty sure the labor alone would double, if not triple or quadruple the price of that. Yeah, so I'll definitely have to talk to my parents about that and, say, well, hey, you said you wanted to give me a project car. How about you just have me repair the CV axle on the Subaru?
So wait, your parents actually want to get you a project car?
Well, my dad, yeah. Like we were seriously shopping for one right before I left for college.
You are so lucky.
That's the thing, though. Like, the trucks we were looking at were pretty clapped out and, like, maybe worth $2 or $3 grand.
Still, I mean, they want you to buy a project car. Mine, I can't say for sure.
They try to dissuade you when you talk about getting one.
Exactly. They're not in favor of me having a fast car or an old car for that matter.
Yeah, like you could get like an old, truck with a 300 cubic inch inline six. While that is torquey, it's definitely not fast.
Yeah, but it can't be old because it doesn't have all the modern safety stuff. So I'd have to get something that's modern enough to have.
Did you run past the talking point of it being an educational experience?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's one of the major reasons my dad wants to get me project cars, the whole educational aspect of it.
Yeah, but the thing is, so you're studying mechanics in college, right?
That's an odd thing to say. Like I was studying mechanical engineering, but now I'm advanced vehicle systems, which is basically all automotive classes. So yeah, I guess you can say that.
Okay, so that working on a car would advance your career, your future career.
Well, yeah, because I have to take auto lab classes,
Yeah.
and half of that class is working on project cars.
Yeah, and mine, on the other hand, I have no clue what my career is going to be. So that might not. I don't know.
Well, and that also
I
doesn't
could
have to go towards a career. Like by just having general mechanical knowledge, if your car happens to break down, you're more likely to repair it yourself. So that's helpful to know.
Yeah, I was going to say I could probably work in something like I could save money in the future by working on my car myself.
Yeah, so you won't have to pay shop labor for dealerships.
Uh-huh.
Okay, you think that's the end of the podcast then?
Yeah, I think we're done. So thank you guys for listening. I'd like to thank my two co-hosts this week, Sam Stone, who's at Dat Muscle Guy on Car Throttle, and Chadkake, who is Chadkake on Car Throttle. So next week we hope to have the special guests that we were supposed to have on this week on. But if not, we'll have a regular podcast for you guys, like always. So thank you once again for listening, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye-bye.